Well, here comes part two. That was the bill collector of the day calling. Anyway, I went into the bathroom, was out in less than 2 seconds, grabbed my son, put him under my arm, and carried him out to the car. And yet some, I'll say do-gooder, decided to call the police because I was abusing my child, and they had to come. And again, just because they decided to get involved, it's just to feed their agenda, was crazy. So here you got this flight attendant that decided that because they had the power, they were going to call police and say that this gentleman was unruly and have him arrested. It's just ridiculous. And then lastly, this one's funny. You got to watch the video. Maybe I'll post it. But there was a comedian in Florida. Now remember, it's a comedy show. It's stand-up comedy. People go to laugh and, you know, maybe you check your politically correct self at the door. But he was a comedian with a Middle Eastern heritage. And when he got out there, he said something along the lines of anybody, you know, from the Middle East, and a couple of people applauded. And he made some silly joke, and it wasn't even anything really silly as the music cranks up again. But somebody after the show, and I will probably say it was some inbred redneck, called 911 and made some comment that he feared for his life because everybody kept saying, I'm from Iraq, I'm from Iran. And he made some comment, the comedian did, supposedly, well, we could form our own little terrorist group or something like that. So the police and our resources had to drive down to this comedy club and interview the comedian. You know, it's just preposterous what our world has become in that regard. I can't really explain it. The common sense ability, the ability to have any degree of normalcy, it's amazing. If somebody, and this goes in both ways, if somebody's racist, if somebody feels slighted, it happens in the business world all the time. Nobody ever loses their job or gets disciplined because they're a poor performer. It's always because somebody's out to get them, or somebody doesn't like their age or their hair color or their fingernails or their race or whatever it might be. It's just absolutely preposterous. So anyway, guys, it's been about a week or so. The stands are filled up. There's about a dozen of us here now. And the music's cranking up. The kids are starting to come into the stadium. So maybe my son wasn't that far off, but maybe, like I said, I should read the email next time instead of listening to a 9-year-old. But anyway, and one more thing while I'm at it, talking about how terrible I am as a dad, and some of my own shortcomings. So on the way down here, I saw a yard sale. Let me stop at the yard sale. I picked up a football to throw on my son at baseball games and things like that, but they had a bunch of clothes. So I said, well, but here's the sad part. I don't even know what size clothes my kids are. I just spent $20 on used clothes that I'll probably be donating to charity once I realized that they're either too small or way too big. But how as a dad do you not know what size your kids are? I know their ages, but ages don't correlate to sizes. So it just dawned on me, that's one of those things I should know. And it never really crossed my mind until I stopped at the yard sale here an hour ago and said, well, heck, I really don't know what size my kids are. So anyway, parents, know your kids' sizes because you never know when you have a deal come across your way, I guess. So anyway, guys, thanks for following. Hope that